A girl like that? All flash, no substance, she won't even get a clean throw. The voice of Bo, a grizzled, old-school cowboy, is full of disdain. He looks her over, a smirk on his weathered face. He thinks she's a joke, just an attraction for the tourists at the Cheyenne frontier days. But Maya, 22, doesn't give him a glance. Her eyes are locked on the dusty arena where everything is about to happen. A quiet fire burns in her gaze. She doesn't need words, her time is coming, and her rope will do the talking. The scene is set in Cheyenne, Wyoming, at the legendary rodeo known as the Daddy of 'em all. This is the heart of cowboy country. Maya, born and raised in Texas, is the only black woman competing in the elite breakaway roping event. She's here to honor the legacy of her grandfather, a phenomenal but largely unrecognized black cowboy. The challenge is brutally simple. On horseback, chase a calf, rope it, and stop your horse all in a few seconds. But for Maya, the real challenge isn't the calf. It's the wall of prejudice from the other riders and a part of the crowd. For them, a young black woman using an unconventional style doesn't belong here. Her family's honor is on the line with every whisper and every mocking stare. The tension is thick. Every minute before her run feels like an eternity. The whispers follow her like a shadow. Her only ally is Shadow, her quarter horse, who feels his rider's steely focus. The animal is calm, ready. What will happen when the chute gate flies open and she's face to face with the calf? Can she really do the one thing no one here thinks is possible? This is a story of courage and justice. If you're rooting for Maya, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Tell us what city you're watching from and comment the word respect if you think she's about to teach them all a lesson. The Wyoming air is thick. It smells of dust, livestock, and leather. This is a world of men, of legacy ranchers and rodeo dynasties. Bo is a pillar of this world. You can see him talking to another board member near the pens. It's a disgrace, Bo says. We're turning our heritage into a circus. First it's these flashy newcomers, next thing you know the tradition is gone. The other man nods. To them, Maya isn't just a competitor. She's a symbol of a change they refuse to accept. Their motivation isn't just prejudice. It's the fear of their world fading away. Meanwhile, away from the crowd, Maya is preparing Shadow. She pulls an old worn lariat from her gear bag. The rope is cracked and softened from decades of sun and work. It was her grandfather's. Holding it is like feeling his presence. She remembers his voice, deep and calm from her childhood in Texas. It ain't about arm strength, baby girl. It's about reading the calf. The rope just goes where your mind sees the opening. This isn't just a competition for her, it's a pilgrimage, a direct line to her late grandfather. The other competitors treat her with an icy indifference. They talk among themselves in tight circles, but the conversations stop when she walks by. They don't see her as a real rodeo hand. They see an outsider, a token. A young rider from a famous rodeo family, the favorite to win, sizes her up with arrogance. His name is Cody, and for him, rodeo is a birthright, a legacy she has no claim to. The hostility isn't just from the old guard. It's from the ones who should be her peers. The rodeo world, even in its modern form, remains a closed circle. The conflict shifts from whispers to direct action. As Maya is checking her saddle, a rodeo official, Mr. Henderson, walks up to her, a clipboard in hand. Bo stands a few feet behind him, arms crossed, a satisfied look on his face. He's the one who sent Henderson. "Ma'am," Henderson begins in a falsely polite tone, "we've had a complaint. Your equipment, it's not standard." Maya looks up from her work. She remains calm. "Not standard how?" "Your lariat," Henderson says, avoiding her eyes. "The knot on your Honda. It's unconventional. We need to make sure it's up to code." Maya straightens up slowly. Her voice is low but firm. "Sir, this is an Oklahoma flat knot. It's perfectly legal under PRCA rules. My grandfather used this knot his entire life. Would you like me to get you the rule book? The argument is logical, undeniable." Henderson is flustered. He glances nervously back at Bo, who now looks furious. The attempt to disqualify her on a technicality is failing. The tension sharpens. This is no longer just intimidation. It's an attempt at sabotage. Other competitors have gathered to watch the scene. Some look amused, others uncomfortable. I'll have to double-check the regulations," Henderson stammers, before walking away quickly. Maya doesn't watch him go. She turns back to Shadow and whispers in his ear, "We're not going to let them win, boy. Not like this." The conflict is now out in the open. They tried to take her out before she even entered the arena. The incident with the official leaves a mark. Maya feels the weight of isolation more than ever. As she moves to a quiet corner to warm up, a voice calls out to her in Spanish, "Don't listen to them." She turns. It's Mateo, a charro from San Antonio, participating in a special exhibition of Mexican equestrian skills. He's also an outsider here. "Your style is different, but it is pure," he says. "The connection you have with your horse, that is what matters." This brief moment of solidarity is unexpected. It's the first time another horseman has shown her professional respect. It gives her a small, much-needed boost of strength. Suddenly, an announcement crackles over the PA system. "Due to a schedule change, we will be speeding up the runs. Rider Maya Washington, please report to the chute entrance immediately." It's another low blow. Her run was scheduled for an hour from now. They're moving her up to catch her off guard, to rattle her after the confrontation. It's a punitive move disguised as a logistical necessity. Time pressure is now added to the psychological pressure. No time for a proper warm-up. No time to refocus. Mateo grits his teeth. They are cowards. Maya takes a deep breath. Panic tries to rise, but she shoves it down. She looks at Shadow, who remains perfectly calm, trusting her completely. She has to rely on her years of training, on her grandfather's legacy. This new complication leaves no room for doubt. There is only action. The isolation subplot is broken by Mateo's support, and the time pressure forces all tensions to a head. It all comes down to now. A hush falls as Maya and Shadow enter the chute. Through the metal bars of the gate, she sees the calf they've chosen for her. It's not the biggest, but it's notoriously fast and erratic. She understands immediately. They didn't just move up her run, they gave her the trickiest animal, hoping she'd fail or get a no time. Beau's smirk, visible from the stands opposite her, confirms her suspicions. This is their final play to break her. The bell rings. The gate flies open. The calf explodes out of the chute, a blur of motion. Alongside it, Shadow launches, not in a frantic chase, but in a controlled, powerful gallop. Maya and her horse are one single entity. The crowd, Beau, the other riders, they all expect her to immediately start swinging her rope, to use aggressive, forward momentum like everyone else. But she does nothing. She rides alongside the calf, her position perfect. Shadow matches its speed, like a mirror image. A second passes. The crowd holds its breath. Beau frowns, confused. He thinks she's scared, that she's frozen. Maya is perfectly calm. She is waiting for the precise moment her grandfather taught her to see. The moment the calf is at full stride, balanced, committed to its path. It's a window of a fraction of a second, and then she sees it. Her motion is supernatural. She doesn't swing the rope in a wide arc. It's a flick of the wrist, an extension of her will. The loop shoots forward, not with brute force, but with impossible accuracy. It settles perfectly around the calf's neck. The throw is so efficient it's almost invisible. Instantly she cues Shadow, who digs in, and the rope comes tight. The flag flies. The official timer on the giant screen freezes, 1.9 seconds. The turning point isn't just the successful run. It's the complete annihilation of every expectation and prejudice. It's the victory of timing over force, of intelligence over arrogance. It's her grandfather's lesson delivered for thousands to see. A dead silence hangs over the rodeo grounds. No one cheers. No one breathes. The spectators, the riders, the officials, everyone is frozen, their minds trying to process what they just witnessed. 1.9 seconds. It was impossible. It was an arena record. Then, a single isolated clap rings out. It's Mateo. Slowly, another person joins in, then another, and within seconds the silence is shattered by a wave of applause that grows into a deafening roar. This isn't just admiration, it's a surrender. Maya doesn't smile. She doesn't pump her fist in victory. She sits tall in her saddle, calmly patting Shadow's neck. Her gaze sweeps the crowd and lands on Beau. He is pale. His smirk is gone, replaced by an expression of pure, slack-jawed shock. His world of unbreakable tradition and brute strength just crumbled in less than 2 seconds. Maya holds his gaze for a long moment. There's no hatred, no triumphant gloating, just a silent, powerful statement. You were wrong. That's it. Mr. Henderson, the official who tried to question her gear, runs up to her, his face flushed with embarrassment. Miss Washington, that was... Unbelievable. An all-time record. His voice is filled with a sudden opportunistic awe. Cody, the arrogant young champion, just stares from the fence, his mouth open, unable to form a thought. He just got a lesson in his own sport from a woman he wrote off as an imposter. The power dynamic in the arena has completely flipped. She's no longer the outsider. She is the standard. Maya's victory doesn't just bring her respect, it presents a new challenge, managing her success. As she rides out of the arena, she is no longer invisible. She is the center of the universe. Local news reporters swarm her, microphones extended. Photographers blind her with flashes. "Miss Washington, how did you do it? Is that a new technique? How does it feel to break the arena record?" The old Maya, the one from an hour ago, would have been intimidated, uncomfortable, but her performance in the arena has forged her into someone new. She proved her worth to everyone, and more importantly to herself. She dismounts from Shadow and faces the reporters with a sovereign calm. "It's not a new technique," she says, her voice clear and steady. "It's the way my grandfather taught me. It's about timing and respecting the animal, not overpowering it." Mr. Henderson informs her that, given her record-breaking performance, the committee is officially inviting her to compete in the championship finals. It's the ultimate offer of recognition. Maya simply nods. "I accept." Her growth is clear in how she handles the moment. She shows no arrogance, no bitterness toward those who scorned her. When a reporter asks what she thinks about the doubts some had before her run, her answer is simple. The rope flew true. That's the only answer that matters. She gives all credit to her heritage and her partner. "The credit goes to my grandfather. And to this horse, without Shadow, I'm nothing." Across the grounds, she sees Bo quietly leaving the rodeo, his head down. He can't stand to witness her triumph. She won, but her true growth is in her ability to remain dignified. She didn't crush her enemy. She made him irrelevant. Maya's record-breaking run has reshaped the entire rodeo. The atmosphere is no longer filled with contempt, but with electric anticipation. She is no longer a curiosity. She is the main event. The organizers, once her antagonists, now treat her with a reverence usually reserved for rodeo legends. The final schedule is announced. The top 3 fastest times will compete in one last round for the championship buckle. The other 2 finalists are Cody, the young prodigy, and another veteran, highly respected roper. The subplot with Bo is over. He has vanished, defeated by a stopwatch. Mateo's support is a quiet, steadying presence. Right before she rides out for the finals, he gives her a nod. "You showed them you belong," he says. "Now go show them you're the best." It's a final piece of encouragement that solidifies her resolve. The tension is different now. It's not the stress of proving she's worthy, but the pressure of living up to the legend she created in 1.9 seconds. The crowd chants her name. Little girls in cowboy hats stare at her with wide, admiring eyes. Her fight is no longer against the establishment, but against the monumental expectations she has set for herself. In the warm-up area, Cody watches her, his arrogance replaced by intense curiosity. He sees the way she talks to Shadow, the almost telepathic bond between woman and horse. He's beginning to understand that what he saw wasn't luck. It was a different philosophy, something his own approach of power and aggression couldn't explain. The climax is no longer just Maya versus a calf, but a showdown between 2 schools of roping. The first finalist, the veteran, puts up a solid run, clean but not spectacular. The crowd applauds respectfully. Then it's Cody's turn. He is the embodiment of power and precision. His horse is explosive, and he ropes his calf with aggressive perfection. The timer flashes an incredible time, 2.1 seconds. The crowd erupts. Cody raises his fist, confident he has secured the win. The pressure on Maya is immense. It's her turn. The arena goes silent again, a collective held breath. The chute gate flies open. The calf they've given her for the final run is smart. It's learned from the other runs. Instead of running straight, it feints, veering sharply to the right to throw off the pursuing horse. This is the ultimate test. Can her perfect technique adapt to the unexpected? For a split second, the crowd thinks she's been beaten. Shadow has to adjust, losing a precious fraction of a second. But this is where Maya's transformation is complete. She is no longer just executing her grandfather's method. She has become the method. With absolute confidence, she anticipates the calf's next move. She doesn't just react, she adapts. With a subtle shift in her seat and a light touch on the reins, she guides Shadow to cut off the calf's angle. Her throw is even more masterful than the first. It has to be. It's a fluid, intelligent cast that accounts for the calf's movement. It's a display of pure instinctual skill. The loop settles perfectly. The rope comes tight. The timer stops. 2.0 seconds. It wasn't a new record, but under the circumstances it was a more difficult, more masterful run. She won not by being faster, but by being smarter. The victory is undeniable. She is the champion. The ovation is immediate and thunderous. Maya is the undisputed champion of the Cheyenne frontier days. At the awards ceremony, she stands on the highest platform, the coveted championship buckle in one hand, her grandfather's worn rope in the other. The most powerful moment comes afterward. Cody walks up to her, his usual swagger gone. He looks her in the eye and tips his hat. "Mom," he says, his voice full of genuine respect. "I was wrong about you. I have never seen roping like that. That was one hell of a run. Congratulations." This acknowledgement from her biggest rival is worth more than any prize money. It's the end of the conflict, a resolution built on earned respect. The conclusion of her narrative arc is complete. She didn't just get a satisfying revenge, she transcended the very need for it. Her victory wasn't a victory against them, but a victory for her own identity, for her grandfather's legacy, and for a new way of honoring tradition. She proved that tradition isn't a dusty monument, but a living river capable of being fed by new streams. As she looks out at the cheering crowd, she understands that she didn't just find a place for herself in their world, she expanded the borders of that world to include her. 6 months later, you won't find Maya on the covers of Rodeo magazines. She didn't chase the pro-circuit glory. You'll find her at a modest ranch back in her home state of Texas. With her prize money, she started a small foundation, the Legacy Roping Clinic. It's not an academy for future champions. It's a place for local kids, especially those from backgrounds that don't normally have a path into the expensive world of rodeo. She teaches them how to ride and rope, but more than that, she teaches them her grandfather's philosophy: connection, trust, intelligence, and respect for the animal. The camera follows her as she walks beside a shy 10-year-old girl who is looking nervously at a calm, gentle horse. "He looks big, doesn't he?" Maya asks softly. The little girl nods. "It's okay to be scared," Maya continues, handing her a brush, "but the real strength isn't in our arms to force him. It's here." She gently taps her own temple, then her heart. "Here and here. You show him you're not a threat, and he'll show you he can be your best friend." She is passing on the legacy. Her victory wasn't an end in itself, it was the beginning of something more meaningful. She turned her personal triumph into an opportunity for others. On a desk in her small office sits an envelope. The logo is from the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, the Super Bowl of rodeo. It's an official invitation to compete. Maya has read it, but she hasn't answered yet. She looks out the window at the kids laughing as they learn. Her smile shows she has already won her greatest prize. Maya's story shows us that respect isn't demanded, it's earned through talent, courage, and integrity. Her victory wasn't just about winning a buckle, it was about breaking down barriers. What did you think of her incredible journey? Share this story if it inspired you, and if you believe that true strength lies in grace and intelligence. Your support helps us create more content like this. And this is very important to us. If you watched all the way to the end, write, "I watched to the end," in the comments. It lets us know that you truly value our stories. Most of all, don't go anywhere. On the end screen that's popping up now, you'll find another story of justice and overcoming the odds that will leave you breathless. Click on the video to your left or right to continue the adventure with us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.